Aloha, everybody. This is Jen Freeman, and happy full moon. So, this full moon is in the sign of Scorpio. It's the most powerful full moon of the year from a practice perspective. In the Buddhist tradition, it's also associated with Wesak, which is a festival with this full moon, celebrating the Buddha's birth, death, and enlightenment. Personally, I had noticed before I knew the connection with the Buddhist tradition that this was seen as this high point of practice for the year, where I could feel for many years around this time, some very deep, powerful work would start to happen internally. Then once it was brought to my attention that this was associated with what's considered the most potent practice period of the year, a lot of dots got connected. And one of the things I'd like to invite you to do with this full moon is so Scorpio is the sign of the hidden, right? It's the underworld, it's the darkness, it's associated with all the things that nice, polite culture doesn't want to look at, right? Sex, death, money, transformation, shamanism, the edge of where the ego ends and the whole of life begins. It's the places where people often would rather just kick back, drink a beer, and watch a TV show. They don't want to look at that. But with the full moon, which is the light of awareness, lighting up in that sign, it's the time of year where we're able to look in under those rocks inside, look into the deepest terrains and look into that darkness. So considering against the wider zeitgeist of this year, of our second year of COVID, of so many other astrological things going on that are really supporting us to give birth to ourselves this year, a new updated version, you could say, we're really letting go of a lot of old information from this life and maybe even past lives. So my invitation to you with this full moon is to hopefully give yourself grace, some time and some space to process, give yourself an opportunity to really listen and reflect. Because one of the things about scorpionic energy is it's raw, it's penetrating. It's a friend of mine would joke that if an assassin was Scorpio, they'd have the poison lipstick where they're just being like completely polite and nice, but then they're like just a little kiss to say goodbye. So the Scorpio energy, much maligned with a lot of people. The thing about Scorpios is keeping you aware of life. Scorpio is demanding that you look at what is dead in your life and what needs to go and what truly is alive. What is the root of what's your foundation? What are you truly living for? So for me, I have Scorpio rising, so I naturally have an affinity with the sign is part of what you can see in my work, where I want to go deeper and deeper underneath just surface level into the depths of experience. So this is your invitation with this full moon. And in general, in my experience in past years, this full moon, it doesn't ask you. It pretty much just grabs you with two hands and is like taking you right into the underworld. So if you find yourself feeling really stirred up or upset or negative or feeling like guilt, shame, blame, rage, all of these things that we do our best to avoid or not be present to often, then know you're right on time. And the medicine is simply to open yourself up and observe. Don't judge yourself for whatever you feel arising. Don't judge other people. Very easy right now to project the shadow and to all of a sudden just hate your Aunt Mildred and the way that she dresses. And you're like, what's wrong with me? Why am I suddenly so judgmental and coming down on poor Aunt Gertrude? It's your shadow. It's part of what's being lit up, some things you haven't been able to own perhaps in the past about your own feelings about your fashion sense. So I wish you the best of luck with this full moon. I've cleared my calendar because this is one where I always know better to have some room. But if you've got a full day, then just make sure there's a little time maybe at the end of the day where you can reflect on what's arisen. And again, give yourself grace, kindness, and compassion. So as always, you can reach me at freemanconsultingllc.com. Wishing you much love and a beautiful full moon.